Have you ever felt utterly alone, while standing in the middle of a crowded room? Maybe you were at a party, smiling and talking, holding a drink, surrounded by music and laughter. And yet, something felt hollow. Like you were watching yourself from the outside. Like everyone else belonged, and you were just performing. Or maybe it wasn't even a party. Maybe it was scrolling through social media, seeing friends posting selfies with captions like "best night ever," or "my people, my tribe," and all you could feel was distance. A strange ache in your chest. A quiet whisper in your heart that said, "I don't feel like I have that." That feeling, the loneliness in the middle of connection, is more common than we think. Especially for young people today. Because despite being more connected than any generation before us, we're also lonelier than ever. We live in a world that's constantly online. We text instead of call. We like and react instead of asking, "How are you really?" We update our stories, we comment on each other's photos, we send memes back and forth. And yet, deep down, many of us are starving for something more. Something real. Something that doesn't disappear after 24 hours. This is the paradox of modern loneliness. We're surrounded by people, but we're lacking true connection. You see, real connection isn't just about presence. It's about being seen, being heard, being understood, without filters, without edits, without fear of being too much. And that's rare. Most of us have learned how to package ourselves. We know what version of ourselves performs well online. We've mastered the art of being chill, funny, cool, put together. But when was the last time someone saw all of you, your doubts, your mess, your silence, and stayed? When was the last time you told someone, "I feel lonely," without brushing it off or adding a laughing emoji to make it easier? The truth is, loneliness isn't always loud. It's not always about being isolated or physically alone. Sometimes, it's simply feeling like you're not known. Like you're surrounded by people, but no one really gets you. Like you're constantly performing, but no one ever claps. Like you're there, but not really there. And here's the painful part, for many young people, this is the norm. We've been taught to be independent, to hustle, to stay busy. We're always moving, studying, working, building something, proving something. We're so busy trying to make something of ourselves, that we forget to be with ourselves. And with each other. We're afraid to slow down, to go deep, to say, "Hey, I don't want small talk. I want connection. I want truth. I want to feel something real." But we need that. We need spaces where we can drop the mask, where we can say things like, "I'm overwhelmed. I feel disconnected from my own life. I wish I had someone to just sit in silence with." The scary part? Many of us think we're the only ones feeling this. But we're not. This loneliness in the crowd, it's something millions are carrying quietly. We're just not talking about it. Because vulnerability still feels risky. Because we're afraid of being seen as needy, or awkward, or too sensitive. But here's the thing, loneliness doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. We are wired for connection. Not superficial interaction, but deep, soul-nourishing connection. The kind that makes you feel safe. That lets you exhale and say, "Finally, someone sees me." So what do we do? How do we build real connection in a world that's constantly rushing, scrolling, performing? It starts with honesty. It starts with one person saying, "I don't want to pretend today." With one friend asking, "How are you really?" And being okay sitting in the silence that might follow. It starts with being brave enough to show up as we are, not as who we think we should be. Sometimes, that bravery means reaching out first. Sometimes it means being the one who says, "Hey, I miss you," or "Can we talk?" Even if your voice shakes. even if you don't know how they'll respond. Sometimes it means creating spaces where depth is welcome, turning off your phones, asking better questions, holding eye contact, sharing meals, not for the photo, but for the warmth. We're not meant to go through life alone. We're not meant to be strong all the time. We're not meant to fill our calendars and forget our hearts. If you're listening to this and thinking, that's me. I feel lonely even when I'm with people. I want you to know, you're not broken. You're not weird. You're just craving what we all need, real connection. And there's no shame in that. In fact, there's something beautiful about it. Because once you become aware of that need, you start seeking differently. You stop settling for noise. You stop numbing with endless content. You start choosing people who meet you where you are. You start becoming that person for someone else. And slowly, gently, the loneliness begins to soften. It doesn't disappear overnight. But it gets quieter. Because now, you're no longer pretending. You're no longer performing. You're simply being. And that's where connection begins. So here's your gentle reminder for today. You are not alone in feeling alone. There are people who crave the same depth you do. There are conversations waiting to happen. There are hearts, just like yours, looking for something real. Be brave. Reach out. Show up with your messy, honest, beautiful self. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say isn't "I'm fine." It's, "I'd like to feel less alone. Can we talk?" And maybe, just maybe, that's how we begin to feel together again. Not just in the crowd, but in the heart.